everyone, it's Miss Maria here. I just made a really cute video of this chameleon. You can see it on the screen behind me. I did a step-by-step on how to draw it and color it with Sharpie. Now I'm going to do an additional video because I thought that the younger kids might be done at that point. But for the older kids, I wanted to make another video showing you how to enhance your art. Now, the word enhance really just means to improve the quality of something. So when you enhance your artwork, you're really just adding shadows and highlights. I'm going to show you how to do that with Sharpie as well as colored pencil. So if you want to go back and watch our previous video and draw this chameleon out first, you can, and then you can watch this one. Or maybe you just want to learn how to enhance the art that you've already done at your house. This video would be good for that as well. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them as soon as possible. All right, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into every single color and I'm going to put the darks in. So I have Sharpie, so you can use whatever kind of marker you want. I have, or even crayons or colored pencils. I have a dark and a light of pretty much every color that I use. So I'm going to start with the green and I'm going to basically add the shadows wherever I think shadows would be, or if you're looking at a picture, you'll see the shadows on there. Shadows are always behind something. So if you imagine this was 3D, this is coming out, and then right behind this would be behind this section. So you know that there would be a shadow right there. Now I'm copying a picture, but if you're copying a picture or you're looking at something in real life, then you'll be able to see. Now, when you're blending two colors, if you wanted this to look like that, clean cut shadow, you can leave it just like that. But if you want it to blend in with the lighter green, then you're gonna have to make the edge of your shadow kooky. And when you make the edge of your shadow kooky, then you can go back with your light green and blend. Now, I don't suggest putting all your shadows in and then going back and blend, because that dark green ink won't be wet anymore, and it's a lot harder to blend them whenever that ink dries. I'm gonna give all this a second coat. I always give everything a second coat, but it's a little hard for the younger kids to color everything twice. All right, so I'm gonna go put all my shadows in the face, and then I'm gonna blend all my shadows with the light green. If you didn't watch my first video of this drawing, you're probably wondering how I'm blending this. I'm really just taking the lighter color and I'm going over and over and over where the two colors touch until it blends. And a lot of times you might be thinking, this is crazy, it's never going to blend. But then all of a sudden, that line in between your two colors just disappears. And look how cool and smooth that looks. I just love it. All right, I'm done blending in all of my green and I think it looks awesome. So now I'm gonna start on my blue. Now, I don't have as many shadows in my blue because there's not all these different parts of the face, so it's gonna be a little bit better. But I do want one shadow going down his back, which is gonna be a little bit more difficult because I'm gonna have to do it in stages, yet I still want it to look like one long shadow. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna outline the inside of everything, and anywhere like this arm's going over the belly, so I'm gonna put a shadow right there. All right, now that I'm done blending my blue, I am going to go into, now the purple, I didn't realize it was going to be that dark because the color of the top doesn't really match the purple, but I'm just going to go ahead and do a second coat on my purple since it's already dark. I'm going to re-blend the blue. And originally I had used a light purple right there where I meant a lighter pink right there, and it didn't blend as well as I wanted it to. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of dark pink to kind of transition so that it blends a little bit better. Now on my light pink, I can go back with this dark pink and kind of go along this edge and blend that in a little bit. And I need to continue this shadow back. So I'm going to take my purple and I'm going to go into this blue a little bit. And blend that blue and that purple together. And then I'm going to keep it going back with the pink. Oh, the darker pink. That shadow. I'm actually going to use a little bit of this pink to blend in around it in the purple too. Whatever you think would work. See, now I'm thinking that maybe I should blend this a little bit better with my light blue. So now I have this nice smooth shadow going down his back, which I really love. All right, when you're blending for the red, you can use a dark pink to blend in the red. Any color that's a little bit darker than red. So another color, if you didn't have a pink, you could use almost like an orangey brown color if you needed to. That'll put a shadow in red also. So I'm going to do all my shadows in my red section. All right, I'm going to go back with my red and blend that in. Oh, I forgot about my back leg. Now for orange, I blend with red, so I can just keep this red coming down. And then for the light orange, I'm going to use the dark orange. So once I'm done blending this, I'm going to keep going. All right, I'm done with all of my enhancing. I think it looks so awesome. I'm gonna add a shadow underneath him. I like using this gray Prisma marker. It's cool gray, 30% if you were looking to buy the Prisma marker. It has two sides, a small and a big. I'm gonna use the bigger side. So I always put a shadow in my eye. So right in the white part of the eye, I'm gonna put a little shadow there and right there. And then underneath him, I'm gonna add a shadow. All right, that looks pretty good to me. I might extend this a little bit further out. Okay, now this would be your next stopping point if you just want to do it in marker. And then the next thing I'm going to do after this is how to enhance it even further with colored pencil. I use Prismacolor color pencils. Prismacolor is a brand, just like that gray that I used for the shadow. They're really awesome. When you color with them, it's like, it smushes like butter. It's amazing. Now I'm gonna show you a little example of what it looks like when you just color with color pencil. I love to put Sharpie down first or any marker down first and then do color pencil over it. And I'm gonna show you why. If you just wanna color something, let's say green, I used this as a little test paper earlier. You can do it with color pencil, but you're never gonna get it to look like that. So even if you added your dark and then you blended your light, that looks good, but does it look as good as that? No. Okay, so when I use color pencils, I hardly ever do all picture in color pencil as my only color. The only time I ever do that is if I'm using really dark paper or a really dark board. So if I'm drawing on navy blue or even black or any dark color piece of paper or board. I guess I could do it right here on this brown piece of paper to show you. All right, now that looks a lot more solid than this because you can actually see the white through it. Okay, so that being said, I'm gonna show you how to enhance even further. Now we already have our shadows, so we don't need too many shadows, but if you wanted to add even darker darks, you could go in right where you know it would be really dark and add a shadow. Now, here is the trick to using a colored pencil. It's all about the pressure you're putting on the pencil. If you push down super hard, it's gonna be dark. If you push down not hard at all, it's gonna be light. If you don't want it to look dark or light, you want it to be gradient, just like we do with our Sharpie, then you have to lighten up on how hard you're pushing down as you're coloring. So if you wanted to go from this to this, you're gonna start going hard, and then as you work your way over, I'm lightening the pressure, lighten up, 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 to where I'm hardly even pushing down at all. And that's how you get that gradient with colored pencil. It's all about the pressure of how hard you're pushing down on the pencil. Okay, so I'm gonna go through, and I definitely want them to blend out. And I'm gonna darken up my darks a little bit. I'm not gonna get too crazy. Just deep down in these corners, right where I know that it would be the darkest part of my shadow. Okay, now that I'm done doing all the shadows with my colored pencil, this is my favorite part. I can go back and add all of my highlights. So I have this really light green. Let's see what color it is. Yellow chartreuse is the color of this green. I can do this really light green, or you could use yellow. Yellow will work too. I'm gonna try out this light green. If it doesn't come out as light as I want it, I'll switch to my yellow. So I'm gonna add my highlights. All right, now you might have seen me using my finger, and that's because if you use your finger, make sure it's doesn't have any other colors on it. But if you use your finger and you push down really hard, sometimes it will help you kind of blend where you need those two colors to blend together. I think that looks so cool. I love it. All right, oh, I forgot this little part. All right, I'm gonna go through and add my lights on each section. Now, I don't have every single color, so some of the colors I might have to use a white instead of the light of that color. Like I don't have a light pink, so I'm gonna have to use white instead of light pink in some of these sections. All right, now in a few spots I want it to be really, really white. So I might go right down the middle of where I put this and kind of push down a little bit harder to where I have a really white right there. And then I'm gonna very lightly try to blend it out so it doesn't get too big. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna do is, I have a gray color pencil, but you could use just a regular pencil if you don't have a gray. And I'm gonna add a shadow in the eye. And before I blend that, I'm actually just gonna come back with my white. I'm gonna clean it off a little bit. I'm gonna come back with my white and just kind of blend with the white. And I have a black, do I have a black? Yes, I have a black color pencil. I'm just gonna go in and you can actually kind of darken up this pupil if you need to. Okay, that's the last part of my color pencil. If you wanted, you could add to the shadow, enhance the shadow, where right underneath whatever you were shading, you could darken it up and blend it out. All right, to be honest, I could keep working and working and working this forever. I tell my teen students that all the time. They'll show me something in that first stage and say, it's done. And then I say, nope, you gotta keep working it, gotta keep working it. So, I mean, you could get super specific and you can go back and add, you know, little highlights and little tiny shadows, every little space that you wanted. So you can really have fun with it if you wanted to. Now, I didn't forget about that little bitty mistake that I made earlier, and I have no idea how I'm going to fix it. I'm supposed to be thinking about that the whole time I'm drawing, but now I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm thinking that I'm just gonna put a leaf, maybe coming out right here. Maybe one of those banana leaves. And just have him, you know, crawling in front of a leaf. I always tell students my famous field trip story. I did a field trip once and we were drawing an egret, and one of the boys was distracted when he was drawing the, I'll show you on here. So let's just pretend we had the head of the egret and here's the eye. I know, it's scary, but you get the point. So then he was drawing the top of the beak and he got distracted, went, "Wah!" Oh my goodness, he started freaking out. He's like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna fix this? So I said, don't worry about it, we'll fix it later. So the whole time I was teaching, I was thinking, oh my gosh, how am I gonna fix this? Now I didn't let him know that I was worried, but really I was thinking, how in the world am I gonna fix that? So then at the end of class, Miss Maria, I remember you said you would fix it? I said, okay, I think I got a solution. Let's make that line into a fish, and we'll have the other side of the fish coming out of the bottom of the beak, and it'll almost look like he's holding a fish in his beak, like he just caught a fish. And so he said, okay. So we fixed it. We drew this fish like he had just ducked down in the water and picked a fish up. And it looked so cool once it was done. All the kids in the class started saying, I want a fish, which I couldn't go around and add a fish to everybody's, but that just goes to show that if you make mistakes, especially when you're drawing with just Sharpie, I know it can be scary, but you can fix anything. You just have to use your imagination. Just be creative. What can you turn it into? And always make sure that you fix it with pencil first. You don't want to just say, oh yeah, I'll do a leaf and then draw it. You saw how I sketched it out in pencil, made sure it looked how I wanted it to look, and then I did it. All right, I might as well take this as a teaching opportunity for some more blending. So I went in with all of my shadows, and now I'm gonna go in section by section, and I'm gonna blend. All right, I'm gonna add some colored pencil and I'll be done. I'm gonna try yellow this time since I did the green and the chameleon. All right, it is officially finished and I love this picture and how it came out. I actually really like my leaf. I think it looks really cool. So now you see how I fixed my little mistake. Anything can get fixed and it'll still look good. I hope you had fun. If you draw this chameleon, please share it with me. You can email it to arttime@att.net and just put chameleon in the subject box, or you could post a picture on Facebook and tag Art Time. Even if you just did the first version of it, you didn't add all the extra stuff, please share your pictures with me. I love seeing everybody's art. I miss everybody so much and I can't wait for us to be able to get back to Art Time to get some classes, but this is so fun doing these videos and I love that y'all are all enjoying them. So I hope that you enjoy this picture as much as I did. All right, thanks.